Hello everyone, I has a box, and in this box I will find Lego Stuffs, for this is an order from Lego Bricks and Pieces. It's where you buy parts directly from Lego at retail. You get there by just doing a web search for Lego Bricks and Pieces, and there will be an official link that shows up and that'll take you directly to it. Or if you go to the Lego website itself, either through the menus or down at the bottom of the page, you'll find replacement parts. Click on that and then click on Buy Bricks. So it doesn't take you into the replacement parts interface specifically, it takes you into the Buy Bricks part where you just purchase pieces one by one. The only catch to it is you do need to know the part numbers, or you need to know the set numbers that include the parts that you're looking for. I use Brickset and Bricklink as resources to find those things. And Brickset in particular, Brickset.com, does regularly update their own database with all the new parts that Lego has added to their publicly accessible parts inventory, the master parts inventory of what's available now. One last thing here before I start opening up these bags and showing you exactly what I got here. I have done, once again, some massive changes to my studio setup here for Studio A. Also, one of my other spots is undergoing some big changes, but the big changes here mean that I can now move around much more comfortably. I can get set up and start doing a video much more quickly, which is going to translate into a much higher quality of life for me, much more efficiency to do videos in this space, which hopefully you will see translating into more content from me being more happy about being here in the first place, and just generally better entertainment and more information for all of you to benefit from. So that's what I've been working on recently. Let's take a look at the parts. So in this box are some bags. I already took the packing material out, and as you saw, got the box open. So, oh, this is convenient because this just has one single type of parts. Again, one type of parts. That's extra nice. They usually just throw them all together. But in this case, I did get a lot of things. Some of them are pretty bulky. So let me, well, let's get through some of the big stuff first. Finally got my Harley Davidson Creator Expert set wheels. So these are the wheels that they use for that set. And I wanted to get them because they're cool. Figure I can use these for some texture, for some greebling, for some mechanical looking things in my Planetary Defense Force base when I get back to that. And they also double them up in order to fit the wider tire for the back of that particular motorcycle. Speaking of which, this is a bag of wider tires, and I did get tires because there's always the possibility that I would want to do a large, I don't know, off-road-ish looking vehicle of some sort. I don't know, I just like big tires on things sometimes, so it's nice to have the pieces available. So I got some of those, including some extras. So tires, let me go ahead and take all these out, why not? They don't take up that much space. Those are wide tires. Here are all of the wheels. Stack those up. Like so. And then I also got the narrow tires. So it looks like we're going to be moving on to this bag next. And for that, I have some trays. So this will make it much easier to keep things together so they won't get out of hand, get lost in the studio. Because look at this. That is normal for this service. And sometimes with Bricklink orders as well. These, excellent. Got a bunch of these. This is new. The first set that had this piece in this color was the latest Luke's Landspeeder set. And I had one of those, which I could have ordered up a replacement part. It was the wrong color. It was from one of those bad batches of colors. But here are the narrower tires that use just one wheel apiece from the Harley Davidson set. But because I wanted to get a bunch of these pieces anyway, just for my own use, I just went ahead and just bought them. I didn't bother getting the one single replacement. I review so many things that it's not a good use of my time generally to order up a single replacement part. But I do recommend that anyone that needs a replacement part do use the genuine replacement part service when appropriate, because they're actually very good with their customer service. Just do not abuse it. I strongly recommend. You can get banned for life. These pieces are new in this color for the Monkey Kid series, and I wanted to get some of those to possibly use for some construction equipment. They just seem like they could be useful for some hoppers or something. These parts are eye sockets for the Build a Minion set. Well, there's only one set so far in that series. There might not be more, but I think I've got another one of those as well. So there are those, and that's the set they came from. Just keeping on the theme of round things. We haven't seen these in too many sets yet. They're not new, but I wanted to have some extras. They're good for like rocket nozzles, smokestacks, and a number of other things. They've been out for a little while, but I think I've used up the extras that I had. Got a couple of these bike frames in the dark azure color. I didn't need the wheels and tires for those because I already have plenty of wheels and tires. I got some macaroni pieces, some of the newer ones, in just the plain yellow. I will definitely be using those in my Planetary Defense Force base. It's perfect for highlighting things. And let's see, what else do we have in here? I'm not going to sort all of these things out on screen right now, but just some yellows of these. Nothing new there. I don't remember if these are new in yellow or not, but I wanted to have some spares. If I do have any, I didn't have many. These are the small turntable base, just a 2x2. So I got a bunch of those. You'll see a bunch of white pieces. Hair piece from the Minions series. Just has a bar and at the base of it. I also got some of their arms. So you see a number of pieces in here from that particular set, including, did I mess up and forget to add? Looks like I may have forgotten to add. Let's see. No, I did get at least a pair. And I might find more in here, but the arms. Oh yeah, there should be one more arm, one more little mini minion arm in here for a total of 4. Yeah, there's the other one. There we go. I thought that's what I ordered. I just figured those might be useful for like a small robot or something. Got some more of these red colored regular lightsaber hilts, and then some tan colored boomerangs, you know, just ones that look relatively normal and natural. This is a facial expression that I thought was useful. A head that I thought was useful. It has 2 facial expressions on it, so it's the same thing. You're looking at either side of it. And then some bracket parts in just plain black. These are some of the newer bracket pieces that have been added to the parts inventory for Lego. Just regular black, very useful. Some of these notched 1x2 by 2/3 corner curves, some upside down arches, and just the regular gray, and some corner 2x2 notched wedge bricks, wedge plates. And then these, I didn't remember having this piece. It's a 2x2 round with a through Technic hole. I didn't remember having this in black. If I did have any in black before, I didn't have many. I think that's, oh yeah, I also got some extras of these. I know I already had some of these, but they're nice prints for construction zones and such. I think I've covered, if not everything here, almost everything. So let me go ahead and move this to the side, bring in another tray. Looks like I may not have enough trays for all the stuff that I'm going to be covering here. But that's okay. We'll wing it. Not all the bags need to be opened. Wow, this is... You see that I was really thinking about yellow this time. A lot. So, this was an expensive one because these are not cheap. You'll see the prices of everything later on in this video. I'm gonna help you guys out with a commonly requested little extra. But these, I just had to get these. I've been not getting a lot of them for a long time since they've been out. Well, I think yellow is a new color, but I've generally not been getting a lot of these unless I can find them super cheap on Bricklink because they are expensive. But I finally decided, you know what? I like these pieces. I need these pieces. I want to put a bunch more containers in my city. And I like to use these like the big C-bin, the big ISO shipping containers that go on ships and trains and such. So I just bit the bullet and went for it and made a big purchase with the most recent color because yellow is a good color that really stands out. So I did it and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm glad I finally did that. I should do that more frequently, but I do try to be careful and not buy too much stuff. Unless I know that I need it, I'm going to use it. So I got a stack of these, and I see here that these are the new material. I thought that the one that I got in the Monkey King mech set, I think it was, used an old colored, an old material piece that was previously polycarbonate. These are not polycarbonate. This is the new material. It scratches up more easily. I thought that I could just get a bunch of the old material while it lasted, but it didn't last. Oh well, it's okay. Still useful parts. But I like the old material better. Lasts longer. Doesn't scratch up as much. I don't remember if I had any of these also from that Monkey Kid, what was that, the Cloud Jet set. I didn't remember having these in yellow. I feel like I might use them in construction related things as well. These also came from the Minions set, these large round corner parts, and those are especially useful for like awnings and around the edges of roofs. And then these are a brand new piece for 2020. And I got a bunch in yellow. I don't remember if they came out in black offhand right now. I know they came in blue in this same set, but I just got the yellow ones because that's a color that I will be using more frequently than blue for sure. I might eventually get some blue ones, but just some more random pieces, general use stuff. These are super useful. I think most of the ones that I have are red and brown, so getting some gray ones is especially useful. These are like shields that you can attach things to. They're useful for clip-wise construction, putting things at angles, just generally good stuff. These, so I got some more of this piece as well in brown, and these in brown. I got a bunch of those because I want to try using a bunch of those for custom trees and such, trees and shrubs. Similarly, I figured I might be able to use some of these types of parts in similar pursuits in the future. So I stocked up on those, stocked up on some candlestick pieces in gold. That's the modern pearl gold. Got some more of these base pieces from the Unikitty collectible minifigure series, or collectible figure series, I guess. I did end up getting some of these wheels after all, but in red. I think I might have gotten one bike, or might have held on to one bike that has these in red, but I like wheels and tires, and I like to change them up quite a bit. One extra Mayhair. I thought I might have gotten two of those, also from the Monkey Kid. And these are incredibly useful, and gray again is an incredibly useful color. These are prints, so this is just general warning, tape warning marking stuff. And a bunch of these Mixels ball joint pieces, rather the socket pieces. Just the simple ones, and I thought, yeah, I did order also the opposite of that. So the ones that don't have, so the ball version of this with no socket. So this one has just the socket which I find to be especially useful. And then the one with just the ball and no socket is also useful and not so common. Also got this headpiece, kind of the male equivalent of the one that I showed you shortly ago with the unsettled face. I may have gotten two of those. I just don't have the exact, I did. I don't have the exact same view that you do right here, and that's completely okay. I'm just sitting down. And then some of these in just the plain white color for use on custom cars mostly, possibly on some buildings. And I'm just gonna move, oh, get back here. Move some of this stuff because these are small pieces. I'm gonna move some of these off the edge and open up this last bag that has miscellany within it. More of these. These actually were not very expensive. The tires are relatively expensive, but the wheels not so much. So I got enough to be able to make an entire vehicle with the wider ones. So using 2 wheels each with the wider tires, and or to make plenty of extra other stuff. While I was buying these things, I also got some in red. I got a bunch in red. So I don't have to be stingy with them anymore. I'm holding off building a bunch of containers. I want to do just a bunch of containers. Now I can with the nice bright colors, in addition to a few other odd colors or less visible colors. I do have some of these pieces extra. So all these, I'll just spend part of a day doing nothing but creating new containers for my trains and my ships and my shipyard. And this should be all I will ever need for these. I may actually do some other types of building with this industrial area building with this collection. And then here are the rest of the small parts that are mixed. Black and gray pieces here. And I'll just roughly keep them over here. That's a really cool piece, generally speaking. These are weird, different size of round thing on the outside. Should be useful. Got some of these 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 2/3, I believe that is, with the 2 open studs on the side, in black, another very useful color. And I mentioned these already. I think these are the least common of the Mixels ball joint system pieces to date, so I made sure to get a bunch of those. I also got these rounded 1 by 2 open stud, hollow stud, little plates in dark gray. And I'm sure there's something else in here that I'm not noticing, but that covers most of it. And then in this separate bag over here, which I'm not going to open yet because I'm just going to transfer this entire bag directly to where it belongs in my part collection, a bunch of those 1 by 2 rounded plates, once again in just brown, and these will be used also, hopefully, for custom foliage, custom trees and such. Lastly, a bunch of these 1 by 1 round domed or half domed parts. I don't know what exactly you call that, but you see what they are. A bunch of those in just a plain white, just for the sake of, hopefully you can see that. It's not too bright in there. Yeah, something like that. There we go. You can definitely see it now. Sorry about that. White is difficult, especially as you get closer to the lights. Stay out of the light. But yeah, a bunch of those to use for general decorations. And then lastly, folks have always asked for the part numbers when I do these, and it's not always convenient, but in this case it was. I was just able to cut off the private information from the order. They include this sheet in there, and it was nicely formatted. So just hit the pause button on this. I'm not going to just hold this sheet here. This is one of 4 pages, so there's more to come. But what you're looking at here, let's see, part numbers in this column right here. Picture of part. Name doesn't really mean that much because some of their names are weird. This is how many that I ordered. And then these prices over here are the individual price times the number that I got. So this is the price for that many pieces. So you have to divide it out if you're interested in the price per part there. But here's the first page. Again, do hit that pause button to look at these more carefully, because I'm not going to just extend the video out for a long time, just holding the page there. So there's that one, there's another, and then there's a small one afterwards. Hopefully at 4K you will be able to read this well enough. There we go. And the last one also has the total amount, which has a comically low shipping and handling price, given that they actually sent this via express from overseas. I guess because it was such a large order. But they did add VAT, even though it's to the US, and I ordered within the US, but it came from over there. It doesn't matter. I'm perfectly fine with that because the shipping cost was so much lower than what they even paid. So I appreciate that. There we go. So that is that, and that is that. I am going to be putting these parts where they belong, actually, fairly soon, because I'm starting to get caught up on parts and stuff. All of the orders that you've seen me receive previously for just pieces, you know, stuff from Bricklink or from Bricks and Pieces, all that has actually been put away. I just have stuff from sets and previous custom builds, like leftover stuff, to put away. So I'm getting more organized. I'm starting to get a little bit slightly caught up on some of the back end stuff. So yeah, most of this is going to get sorted away pretty quickly, and I'm looking forward especially to building out my fleet of containers. And I'll probably need to build some more trailers, some semi-trailers to hold those containers, and possibly 1 or 2 more rail cars to hold some of those as well. So they'll just be in various appropriate places around the layout. The rest of the stuff, for the most part, doesn't have immediate uses, but a lot of little uses will be coming up fairly quickly. But again, Bricks and Pieces, you can just search for Lego Bricks and Pieces, you'll find it, or go to replacement parts from the lego.com website and then click on Buy Bricks. Now, they do close down in some regions from time to time. Some of it happens seasonally. Some things have happened as a result of the current situation that the world is in. So if it's not working for you, if it's not available for you at the time when you go there, there will be a message asking you to please come back. I recommend that you do that. Just come back, check back in with them. They will reopen, and then you'll be able to use that service, which I find to be very useful. Not always cheaper than Bricklink, but definitely a good way to quickly get pieces quiet as it's kept. A lot of Bricklink sellers do buy from that. You're not supposed to, but do buy from there and then just bump up the price a little bit. So, you know, depends on where the pieces come from, whether you'll be able to get better prices there or on Bricklink, but availability is always going to be limited to things that are in current production, that are not out of stock. Yeah, just check it out. You know, try it. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. But this is what I've done for now. I'm going to put these away. I'll talk to you again soon.